Imagine building a $1.8 billion company, and imagine doing it right from your couch in Los Angeles, starting with just $20,000.
Right, and you're not just, building a simple software widget either. You were shipping actual physical medical products
Yeah,
to thousands of people.
exactly. And your only full-time employee is your brother. Welcome to episode 465 of AI Brief. We have an incredible roadmap for you today. We are exploring the unbelievable story of that solo founder who used artificial intelligence to build a massive healthcare operation in, get this, just 2 months.
Yeah, and we will also examine OpenAI's first major media acquisition, unpack Google's powerful new open source models, and provide a roundup of the day's vital AI news.
Right, and we will finish up with trending AI tools you can use to boost your own productivity today.
Our mission today is to show you that we are officially moving past the phase where artificial intelligence is treated as just a novelty or, a fun parlor trick.
Yeah, that phase is over. We have entered an era of massive, unprecedented real-world execution. The focus in the industry is no longer on what the tech might theoretically do someday, but on the staggering operational velocity it is delivering right now.
Totally.
So let us move from the promise of massive scale directly into the most extreme real-world example to date. Matthew Gallagher launched a telehealth startup called Medvi. He did this using just a stack of AI tools, and it took him exactly 2 months to stand up the entire end-to-end operation.
2 months is just wild for healthcare. And Medv sells GLP-1 weight loss drugs online. For those unfamiliar, GLP-1 refers to the highly popular class of medications used for treating obesity and diabetes, similar to what you hear about in the news constantly right now.
But here's the wild part. Gallagher is not a doctor. He does not own a warehouse.
Yeah.
The actual doctors, the medical prescriptions, and all the complex shipping logistics are entirely outsourced. He uses specialized compliance platforms called Care Validate and Open Loop.
The technological stack he used to stitch all of this together to basically replace a traditional corporate workforce is the critical element to understand here. I mean, he did not invent a new algorithm. He just deployed ChatGPT, Claude, and Grok for all the complex coding requirements to build the website and the back-end routing.
So he just used off-the-shelf models for the heavy lifting.
Exactly. And then used Midjourney and Runway to generate highly polished advertising creatives instead of, hiring an ad agency. For customer service, which is traditionally a massive overhead cost, he integrated 11 labs and built custom voice-capable AI agents to handle patient inquiries.
Wow. And the financial results of this automation are simply staggering. Medvi generated $401 million in revenue in its first year, and they are currently on pace to hit $1.8 billion this year.
Which is just, it's hard to even wrap your head around.
Right, and again, his brother is his only full-time hire. They just supplement the operation with a few contract engineers and account managers when needed.
Wait, I have to pause and make sure we really understand the mechanics of this. A $1.8 billion run rate with a two-person full-time team. How does that actually function on a minute-by-minute basis? Is he just sitting there furiously typing prompts into ChatGPT all day long to keep the business running?
No, not at all. The breakthrough here is how these systems are integrated through application programming interfaces, or APIs.
Right, the connective tissue.
Exactly. When a customer clicks an ad generated by Midjourney, they interact with an AI agent on the website. If they qualify for the medication, that AI agent automatically sends a data request directly to the open loop system, which pings a licensed physician to review the file.
Oh, I see. So it just flows from one automated step to the next.
Yes, once approved, another automated trigger hits the shipping facility. The AI is doing the work that usually requires dozens of project managers, customer service reps, and logistics coordinators.
Think of Gallagher like a single musical conductor, directing an entirely automated, invisible orchestra. He is not playing the instruments, he is not packing the boxes or writing the prescriptions. He is just managing the sheet music and the tempo of the entire operation.
That is a perfect analogy. And this raises a massive question for you. If a two-person team can generate $1.8 billion in revenue, does this make the traditional venture-backed startup model completely obsolete?
It really makes you wonder.
Right. I mean, why would a founder ever give up 20% of their company for funding if they can just rent an AI workforce for a few $100s a month?
It definitely fulfills a very specific prediction Sam Altman made earlier in 2024. He stated that artificial intelligence would enable the world's first solo billion-dollar company. And here we are. Yeah, what Medv proves is that combining existing, off-the-shelf AI tools with strong builder instincts and decisive action yields results that were previously unimaginable for a single operator. It shifts the barrier to entry from capital to creativity and execution.
We are clearly seeing this extreme disruption from agile startups, but the giants of the space are simultaneously realizing they need to control their own cultural narratives as the landscape shifts. Which brings us to OpenAI. They just announced the acquisition of TBPN.
Oh, this is a big deal.
It is. This is a daily live tech talk show that has become an absolute staple for Silicon Valley executives. This deal is reportedly in the low hundreds of millions, marking OpenAI's first media acquisition.
TBPN broadcasts every weekday on YouTube and X, attracting about 70,000 highly influential viewers per episode. Co-founders Jordy Hayes and John Coogan started the show just 17 months ago and built it to a $30 million revenue pace.
That is incredible growth.
It is. And as part of this acquisition, the 11-person team will drop its advertising business entirely. They will report directly to OpenAI's Chief of Global Affairs, Chris Lefane, while retaining editorial independence on the show. Fujisimo, a prominent tech executive, noted that the standard communications playbook simply does not apply to a company moving as fast as OpenAI.
They are driving a massive technological shift.
Exactly, and they want to foster constructive conversations directly with the builders who actually use their products.
I am going to push back on this idea of editorial independence, though. Can a media company truly retain its edge, its objectivity, and its independence when its paychecks are suddenly signed by the biggest monopoly player in the entire space?
That is the big question everyone is asking.
It seems like a massive conflict of interest for a news show to be owned by the primary subject of its news.
Well, OpenAI has taken several severe hits to its public perception this year regarding corporate governance and executive departures. Buying a direct, trusted channel to the founders and executives who tune into TBPN every day is a highly strategic defensive move.
So it is about controlling the narrative from the inside.
Exactly. It allows them to shape the cultural tech vibe from the inside out. They're acquiring an established audience and a specific cultural credibility that would be incredibly difficult, if not impossible, to build from scratch through traditional corporate press releases. It is a brilliant business move to bypass traditional media filters entirely.
While OpenAI buys closed media influence to shape their narrative, Google is utilizing an aggressively opposite strategy. They are giving away their actual technology to win developer mindshare.
Yes, Google DeepMind just released the Gemma 4 family.
This is a suite of 4 models ranging in size from something that can run completely offline on a mobile phone to a heavy-duty desktop computer variant. All of these models handle code, vision, and multi-step agent tasks. The fact that the smallest variants can run entirely offline on phones and include native voice capabilities is just wild.
The performance metrics on these models are highly competitive. The 31 billion and 26 billion parameter models are the standouts here.
And parameter count essentially refers to the size and complexity of the artificial brain, right?
A 31 billion parameter model is relatively compact, but it rivals much larger competitors like Kimi K2.5, GLM5, and Quint 3.5 in raw intelligence. Crucially, Google released these models under the Apache 2.0 license for the very first time.
Let us decode that for a second. We hear about different open source licenses constantly. What does the Apache 2.0 license actually mean for the developer or business owner listening right now?
Switching to the Apache 2.0 license is a massive strategic play. It removes all legal and financial friction for developers. Under this specific license, anyone can modify the code, deploy it in their own software, and sell it commercially with zero hesitation and without paying royalties back to Google.
Wow, 0 royalties.
None. Over the past year, Chinese models like Qwen have dominated the open source frontier, pushing enterprise clients toward their ecosystems because custom restrictive licenses from U.S. companies created massive adoption friction. Businesses were afraid of legal liabilities if they built on top of American open models.
It is exactly like Google taking their highly sought-after, closely guarded secret recipe and putting it completely into the public domain for anyone to use.
Yes, perfectly said.
They are intentionally giving away the secret sauce to ensure their specific flavor profile becomes the default standard in every restaurant in the world.
That is exactly the mechanism at play. This marks a stark reversal in strategy, especially as Chinese rivals begin pivoting toward closed, proprietary systems. Google is capitalizing on that pivot by making their ecosystem the absolute path of least resistance for enterprise adoption across the globe.
So let us step back and look at the broader landscape. I want to slow down our pacing a bit here. We are shifting from these tectonic industry shifts to the practical daily applications hitting the market right now. It is important to take a measured look at how these tools are fundamentally altering daily workflows for millions of people.
Absolutely. The pace of daily utility is just as important as the big corporate moves.
First up, Perplexity Computer is now capable of filing federal taxes. Users upload the relevant documents, answer a few plain English questions about their financial situation, and the system autonomously fills out the IRS forms using retrieved, completely up-to-date tax codes.
A demonstration video of this frictionless process recently hit 1.9 million views online. It perfectly illustrates the leap from just answering questions to actually executing complex chores.
Moving to the creative space, ByteDance has made their Seedance 2.0 AI video generator broadly available across major platforms. It is currently topping the artificial analysis video leaderboards for generation quality.
Yeah, that shows that the race for photorealistic video generation is accelerating incredibly fast. And in the developer ecosystem, Cursor unveiled Cursor 3.
This is a newly rebuilt interface that allows developers to run fleets of local and cloud coding agents in parallel, and they can do it across multiple repositories from a single workspace.
Right. This means a single developer can command dozens of AI assistants to rewrite huge sections of code simultaneously.
We also saw Alibaba release Qwen 3.6 Plus. This new reasoning model rivals Opus 4.5 on major coding agent benchmarks. But what really makes it special is that it natively supports a massive 1 million token context window.
That is huge. To put that in perspective, context window refers to the amount of information the AI can hold in its working memory at one time. 1 million tokens means you could upload a dozen thick textbooks or an entire company's legal history and have the model seamlessly reason across all of that information at once.
Microsoft also launched MAI Transcribe 1 in public preview. This is a cutting-edge speech-to-text model that is currently topping accuracy benchmarks across 25 different languages. It is completely changing the game for global audio transcription.
Finally, a Japanese startup named Sakana AI opened beta testing for a tool called Marlin. Marlin is an autonomous research assistant capable of working for 8 straight hours on complex, business-related tasks without any human intervention.
8 straight hours?
Yes. You give it an objective in the morning, and it spends the entire day navigating the web, compiling data, and drafting a comprehensive report by the time you check back in.
The overarching theme for you, the listener, is very clear here. We are watching artificial intelligence simultaneously automate deeply tedious chores, like filing your tax returns or spending 8 straight hours doing market research while massively expanding your creative and coding leverage.
And this brings us perfectly to the actual tangible tools you can use today to build your own leverage in your daily work. We can group these based on how you might deploy them.
Let us start with product builders and creators.
Atoms is a specialized tool designed specifically for turning raw, scattered ideas into physical or digital products that actually sell in the market. Then there's PodShrink, which is incredible if you consume a lot of content. It allows you to transform full-length podcast audio into concise, fully narrated audio summaries so you can absorb an hour of insight in just a few minutes.
I need to try that one. Now, if you are leaning into visual storytelling or world building, ArcLoop lets you chat with characters, build comprehensive fictional worlds, and turn your concepts into short, high-quality anime episodes.
Storymotion is another great visual tool where you simply take your dry documents, complex diagrams, or rough ideas, and it generates fully animated visuals for educational courses and marketing videos in a matter of minutes.
And for the technical listeners and developers out there, Merge Gateway is a platform that allows you to ship production AI applications much faster. It features built-in routing, cost controls to manage your API spend, and system observability right out of the box.
We also obviously have Gemma 4, Google's new open-weight AI, offering state-of-the-art intelligence for its highly compact size, which is perfect for local deployment.
You also have Qwen 3.6 Plus, Alibaba's new reasoner model with that massive 1 million context window and incredibly strong coding capabilities for handling giant datasets.
Finally, MAI Transcribe 1 is Microsoft's new standard for seamless speech-to-text transcription spanning 25 languages.
The synthesis of everything we have discussed today, from Medvi's hyperscaled operations to Perplexity literally doing your taxes, points to a singular reality.
Frictionless AI implementation is completely redefining what a single individual or a small, lean team can accomplish.
Exactly. The historic barriers to massive commercial scale, like hiring giant teams, raising venture capital, and managing complex logistics, are dissolving right before our
It
eyes.
is a totally new paradigm.
I want to leave you with a thought to mull over. If a single human can use artificial intelligence agents to successfully run a $1.8 billion physical product company today, how long until an autonomous AI agent registers its own LLC, opens a bank account, and attempts to run a profitable company entirely on its own?
That is a wild thought.
Please follow and share AI Brief with your network to stay ahead of the curve as we track these rapid, world-altering developments. We will see you in the next episode.